Hey guys, Anthony here, AFT Dog Training. Continuing our series on how I raise a puppy, how my dad taught me to raise a puppy, and how I raised it, and how his dad taught him to raise a puppy. So everyone has their own methods of doing this. I always get asked how I have all these dogs in my house, even growing up in my house with my dad with the 16 dogs, as many as 16, and none of them are biting humans or anything like that. Some of them had some issues with each other, and we learned how to work those behaviors out of them. But this is how I go about training the dog, and how Kelsey's also going to show a video on how she's using some techniques to teach her Scarlett a heel command. So what we have on her is a size small Joel Silverman collar. If I did not have this collar on her, I would have a martingale collar on her. This is actually the first time Scarlett has this collar on her. All right. So I taught her what some of the pressure from that meant just walking up here. The slightest pressure on a puppy, you really don't want to be using any corrective stuff with them. Not at this age. Again, slight pressure here. She might get good girl, good girl, and give her reward. A lot of treats involved because she is treat worthy. She knows sits, downs, and stuff if you're following our YouTube series on it. Now we're working on the heel. And the reason why Kelsey's going to show... Are you going to use that?
I'm probably just going to use treats.
You're probably going to use treats, not the spoon?
I might use the peanut butter.
I'll use the spoon then at this point. So, I had back surgery a few years ago. For me, it's very difficult to continue to bend down with the small dog. Spoon with peanut butter on it, okay? Scarlett, heel. Heel. Good girl, good heel. Turn it. Scarlett, heel. So just like that, you're going to turn in and out. I'll wait till these trucks pass. Continue to do these inward and outward movements with the spoon, using very little, if any, leash pressure. For me, at least at this age. Scarlett, heel. Good girl. Scarlett, heel. She's not really interested in peanut butter.
Paco doesn't like peanut butter.
So let me
either.
try real quick with the treats, and then I'll let you show your method on doing it. Scarlett, heel. So also when I'm doing here, when I'm giving her the treat, is I'm crushing it up in my fingers here, just like that. And it's giving me a little bit more play for her to really understand what I'm asking of her here. So when I'm marking it with heel, she's licking, trying to get it through my fingers and whatnot, and I'm saying, good girl, heel. All right. Scarlett, heel. I'm keeping her there. She's trying to tease her there. Not tease her, but make her work for that treat. Heel. Good. Heel. Heel. It's just as simple as that. I would do this exercise with her probably 20 minutes to an hour a day is what I would be doing. Because I really want her to understand this heel. Off leash, on leash, I don't care. I want her to understand. What happens though is I get it, people get the puppy and they don't start anything at this age yet. And that's why attending Kelsey's class is like imperative, so that you have your dog, once they're reaching their troubled ages where they think they're going to press your buttons like what my own little kids do, you're able to have more control because they already know right from wrong by just teaching them this stuff. Again, Scarlett, heel. Break. So I've been actually implementing a break command with her in the sits and downs that she's learned. All right, I'll let Kelsey take.
Stop. Sit. Good. Heel. Stop. Sit. Heel. Stop.
Notice how she's taking her time doing this. All right.
Heel.
Again, no real, obviously big difference to what I was doing to what Kelsey's doing. You're ultimately getting the same effect. It's just she might understand this technique a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. Figuring out what's easier for your dog to figure out what you're asking of them. This is very similar, and I hate to humanize things, but I have to start people's minds start thinking. If your child is not understanding 2 + 2 by just seeing the numbers, they may need to actually physically get, let's say, like they get little blocks out or little paper clips, and then they're taking paper clips and putting 1, another 2, and then taking another one, 3, and then 4, and then they get the answer. They're more visual on it. Don't forget that dogs, or any animals at that, same way. It's not all one method that's going to make make things work. So just keep that in mind as well. If your dog's struggling and you're working with a trainer that's only working with one method, try to figure out if there's something else that could be done. So, actually, could you go in the sun a little bit, because it's like a little dark here. So I want you to really see the timing and stuff. No matter where we go, if there's trucks, now there's a helicopter. So again, see how Kelsey's like minimal leash pressure there just to get her to move, and then marking it with heel and giving her a treat. All right, little pressure there again. Ultimately, the least amount of pressure, the better. Okay.
Scarlett.
Again, this is for puppy training. Some of us that are getting dogs have severe behavior, leash behavior issues, severe redirection issues. You're not necessarily doing this technique with that type of dog, okay? So we're talking, this is puppy 101. We also, it's a very similar method also in our basic obedience classes, but we might be working on finding a better tool for whatever works for the dog. Very similar at the point where your kid is in school and now it's time for them to start reading out of a book or reading out of an iPad or a smartphone, a smart tablet, or whatever it is. You got to figure out what tool the child is going to learn out of. Same thing with dog training. Yep. So that's our session. So hopefully you learned something there. There's other methods, obviously. This is what we're using. And what we get a lot of results. We share a lot of videos on the results that we have, and we're very open with that. So this is actually my dog Scarlett. Out of 5 dogs I own, all of them are adopted or shelter or rescue dogs, and all of them came with me with issues. Scarlett here was removed from her mother about at the 2-week stage, not through me, through somebody else of her life, and the 2-week stage of her life, and then when you're not supposed to remove puppy at a minimum of 8 weeks, she was removed at 2 weeks, and my dogs were helping her learn how to socialize and be a dog. So you can't remove that aspect out of it either. Dogs do learn from each other. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully, if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments here on YouTube or on Facebook. And we'll continue now with our walk. Again, we're using, just real quick, we're using a pressure-based collar. So Joel Silverman here, just in case I have to communicate with her, I'd rather her understand the pressure on, pressure off from that collar than having a buckle collar on her and straight use that pressure, because that pressure has no release. And you could be just choking your dog with that, or puppy. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.